We have seen a major resurgence in this category called patriotic hackers since the Ukraine-Russia war began. And these are groups that are financially motivated in some cases, and they obviously sell cyber attack services for profit in order to sort of keep the lights on, as it were. But they are also, in some sense, ideologically driven. They can choose to fight for a particular cause, whether it's the Israel-Palestinian issue or Ukraine-Russia issue or any such. And then their attack is motivated by sort of making a political point. We do see these attacks frequently. And I think this is, given the fraught political environment that we are all living in globally, and the use of cyber tools to score political points, I think points to the essential need for robust cybersecurity.
Let's talk about Elon Musk for a change. He pointed the finger at Ukraine after claiming that a massive cyber attack had caused severe disruption on his social media site X. Listen.
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Well, Dark Storm, a group of pro-Palestinian activist hackers, later claimed responsibility for the disruption. Let's bring in Dr Megha Kumar, Chief Product Officer and Head of Geopolitical Risk at the global cyber consultancy CyXL. Hello, Megha. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks very much for being with us. Look, a hack like this, how difficult would it be for somebody to pull it off? Is it the sort of thing that needs to be done by an extremely well-resourced group, or could they just be enthusiasts?
Well, the group involved, Darkstorm, that has claimed responsibility for this, are well-resourced. And I want to explain what well-resourced means here, because either they had direct access to a network or botnet of compromised computers, or they were able to rent out compromised infrastructure from other groups. So they were well-resourced, both in terms of the techniques they have at their disposal and potentially the financial resources that might have gone into it in terms of renting other resources. So yeah, groups like that can conduct very sophisticated techniques. And this one against X, from the forensic investigation details we have so far, suggests this was a pretty advanced technique. I mean, a platform like X experiences attacks all the time, but this one got through, even if it was temporarily. So this was not a unsophisticated enthusiast, I don't think.
And what can you tell us about the kind of attack it was? Was it designed to just bring down the site? Was it penetrating the site's defenses and getting inside the site? What do we know?
So forensic investigations take time, and they have to establish all kinds of aspects of this. What we know so far is that this was pretty well-resourced, but it was aimed at disrupting the service. We don't see any evidence so far that the aim was to compromise consumer data or to post malicious content on it. It seems to just to disrupt the service.
Okay, and Elon Musk's claim that the hack likely came from Ukraine. What if anything, can he be basing that on? How easy is it to tell where attacks like this come from?
Yeah, in the clip you played earlier, Musk has said that the IP addresses have been traced back to Ukraine. I think we need a lot more information before we can jump to any conclusion. An IP address does not necessarily indicate the true geographical location of internet traffic. Attackers frequently mask their actual location using virtual private networks. So attribution takes time, and it is difficult, but it must be done very carefully and responsibly. I think what can be said, however, is that attacks against X as a platform are probably unique in that Musk is not just the owner of the platform, which he uses very actively, but is also a key member of the Trump administration. And we know, not just from recent events, that the Trump government has a very fraught position on Ukraine and has fraught ties with Zelensky.
Yeah, I mean, and an attack like this, how often do these things turn out to be the work of maligned state actors rather than kind of independent groups? Or do the two cross over and combine quite a lot?
The two cross over quite a lot. We have seen a major resurgence in this category called patriotic hackers since the Ukraine-Russia war began. And these are groups that are financially motivated in some cases, and they obviously sell cyber attack services for profit in order to sort of keep the lights on, as it were. but they are also, in some sense, ideologically driven. They can choose to fight for a particular cause, whether it's the Israel-Palestinian issue or Ukraine-Russia issue or any such. And then their attack is motivated by sort of making a political point. We do see these attacks frequently. And I think this is, given the fraught political environment that we are all living in globally, and the use of cyber tools to score political points, I think points to the essential need for robust cybersecurity. If you're a business, if you're a private consumer, whoever you are, strong cybersecurity is now an absolute must-have.
And how much do we know, finally, about this group, Dark Storm, that has claimed responsibility? Are they a well-known collective, a well-known group, or are they a new name on the scene?
Well, they're pretty new. They first came to attention in September 2023. They are a pro-Palestinian hacktivist group known for launching cyber attacks against entities that they perceive to be Israel supporters. So they will go after government infrastructure, organizations aligned with Israeli interests. And in October last year, they claimed responsibility for another distribution of, DDoS attack, distributed denial of service attack against JFK Airport in New York. So, so they are active.
Yeah, Dr. Megha Kumar, thank you very much indeed. Dr. Kumar is the Chief Product Officer and Head of Geopolitical Risk at SciXL. Good to speak to you. Hello, this is Hugo Rifkin here on Times Radio. Just to let you know, talks are now underway in Saudi Arabia as officials from Ukraine and the US try to draw up a plan for a Russian ceasefire deal. You can hear coverage throughout the day on Times Radio about that on Drive. John Pienaar will be speaking to Kurt Volker, Trump's former special envoy to Ukraine. Do tune in for that. I'm still joined here by the Times' diary editor, Patrick Kidd. Patrick, you were just listening. We were talking about the hack on Elon Musk's site X. What were you thinking about that?
Well, he seems to be damaging the site plenty well enough on his own. It's become slightly unusable. I've been on it for years and wasted too much of my life, but it's now filled with ads and also it seems to be taken over by nasty people. I want pictures of churches and things like that and wisteria and.
Was there ever a churches and wisteria Twitter?
And it was me basically.
Oh, it was just you, right?
The first year of COVID, I made sure I got people to send me pictures of wisteria.
Very nice.
Everyone up. But one thing that struck me, our piece here says that the second wave of attacks, which was prime time America, 10 a.m. American time, lunchtime here, 40,000 people reported it wouldn't work. 40,000 doesn't strike me as very many. I mean, Elon Musk has more than 200 million followers. So maybe just not many are on it.
Or they're all on it and they're not on anywhere else and they don't know how to report if Twitter's down. Well, how do you tell it? It's like when you leave your house without your phone and you need to phone someone.
Yes, fair point. But it's been a bad time. One of his spaceships blew up the other day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tesla's shares are tanking, but that's why Donald Trump's buying one. If he takes it back, it could tank even further. And Twitter's not working, and I still call it Twitter, not X. So I don't know.
On goes the resistance.